There we go.
Got him?
Yep. Big walleye, big old walleye. Look at that. Oh, that's a good first fish.
All right. Do you need a net?
I think so.
Yeah, so do I.
Mr. Walter, hello.
You give me this little trout net and you catch big spawned out sows like this.
All right.
Oh, boy,
oh
she's
wow,
a
is that a
beauty,
tank? That is
There
a
you
huge fish.
There you go. Boy.
How do you like that?
Oh,
Al and I have kind of
Good.
started to make it a tradition to head to the Dakotas and fish new water in the spring, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We're out in the Dakotas chasing walleyes, maybe some smallmouth white bass. That's the combo of lakes that are pretty common out here, and man, oh man, it can be some sweet fishing for some big fish and a lot of action too. That's a great walleye. That's the first fish that we've got so far. Just looking at a little creek arm coming off a main river channel. Cool, get this guy back. There we go. Beauty. When it comes to looking at new water, you know, what you have on the end of your rod can make a big difference in how the day plays out. Of course, it's what are the fish willing to bite, but also it's a game of efficiency. And in my opinion, the best tool out in the Dakotas like this, or in a lot of places, is this. This is a Lipless crankbait. This is a Rappler Rip and Wrap size 6, and I always have this thing tied on when I'm looking at new water, and there's a couple reasons why. Number one, you can't fish the bait wrong, and that's probably the biggest reason. I can cast it out, wind it straight in, I can work it back, pause it, and I can also fish it vertical. And a lot of times when you get on these sand flats or these channel edges where the fish are a little bit deeper and you're fishing darker water, fishing it like a jig can be absolutely dynamite. So I'm just kind of working it back off this little break here, just ripping it up. You can feel it, and then I'll just kind of follow it down on a semi-tight line, just watching it, and when the fish bite it, you just see the line jump and gotcha. Got him? Of course, the last cast.
They would be at the top of the list.
Got one?
Yeah. The drag slip the walleye. Pretty good one. Really good one. Nice little walleye. Oh, so that a smallie?
Is it a white bass or smallmouth?
Smallie!
Smallmouth, all right.
Smallmouth on them rocks, Jer.
Sweet. I wonder if there's a
It's only justice that I catch the smallmouth and you catch the walleye.
That's good. I'm happy for you.
All right. Well, they're supposed to be in here. Come here, you little smallmouth.
All right.
Yeah.
There's one. Nice. Yep, jerkbait. Find one, hopefully find many.
Ooh,
All right.
small.
Hey,
Small,
I'm happy.
smallie.
That is back-to-back casts for us, so that's a win. You know, these spots out here when you're looking for fish, it's so interesting. It does not take a lot to hold fish. When you look at the landscape, it's pretty similar to what's underwater. You see a lot of just grass, but every once in a while you kind of see rocks scattered about. And that's, you know, you just need a couple rocks and it can hold walleyes, white bass, smallmouth like this. And that's really the deal. And you know, the cold water there, I mean, we're just flirting with 50 degrees right now. Nice little fat smallmouth. And the fish haven't come up, you know. Ideally you're fishing 3 to 6 feet of water, you're casting and winding and going through a bunch of fish, but right now what it seems like is the fish are still in the deeper lips, so that one I just chose to put on the deeper diving small X wrap. That can be a killer in the spring. Smallie.
Smallie.
It's that sharp wall again.
Yeah.
Is that a good one?
Yeah, better one. Not like them littler ones we had earlier.
Oh yeah, that's a great fish.
I'm starting to get excited, Jer.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get excited. After a long winter, you have no idea. Jer and I actually dream about a trip like this coming about, I'd say around March, you're starting to think smallmouth, walleyes. Well, it just came off. And it's better than those other ones, huh?
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, heck yeah.
This lake's supposed to have a lot of smallmouth in it.
Yeah,
You know, the lake we're on, it's a pretty big body of water. So we got a lot of exploring to do. And we love doing that.
Oh, wow, look at that. There's a muskie. God darn it.
Huh?
There's a muskie out here. Yeah. How cool is that? That's pretty neat. Isn't that crazy?
Is it suspended?
It's pretty close to the bottom. It's like a foot off the bottom. That's just wild.
Yeah, some of these areas that you're fishing here, rocks are so important in these lakes. You just see this, that's all natural rock there, and it was a high hill of it. And it's what, you know, not that much, and then it goes to nothing again, and nothing. That's what we're fishing underwater in a lot of these places. It's just scattered rocks like that. Sometimes four boulders on a spot, and you can pull big walleyes, big smallmouth, pike when they're on it. I mean, it's the only thing that's the spot on the spot. Yeah, you know, and a lot of times that's all it is, and they're small areas. That's why your hummingbird with side imaging so often is so important, like it is on any lakes. But these lakes, you look and look and look, and you find areas 2-3 times the size of my boat. You know, you lock them in and fish them. It's an amazing tool, especially up in these lakes here, where there's so much empty water, I guess you'd call it.
One of the biggest challenges in fishing many times is not catching fish, but simply finding them. Spring is the best time, in our opinion, to search new water. Many times you can eliminate 90% of it because most of the fish are shallow in seeking warmer temperatures. They are often hungry and willing to bite on a variety of different presentations, and this is a perfect time for a run and gun approach to fishing.
That thing just smoked it. Oh, it's a big brownie, I think, actually.
It is.
He just started shaking his head like crazy. I'm thinking big brown bass, Al. Oh yeah, look at the size of this one. Woo, this is what we're after. Heck yeah, I'm loving life, man.
Oh, Jared,
so many of the good spots
Jared.
are pretty darn obvious out here, you know. Points are just one of those things, no matter any lake you're fishing, are worth looking at. We really don't know anything about this lake. It's first couple hours on the fishery, and boom, got big walleye, got really nice pike. We saw what sure looked like to be a muskie, big giant fish on the side imaging, and now we have ourselves a big brown bass. How do you like that? And once you know it, Al picked up a jerkbait as soon as he saw me catch this fish. I'm gonna let it go here quick. That is a sweet smallie. Look at him. Cool. All right, sweet. No, that fish came on a rip and wrap, and I've mentioned this many times, that this is one of my favorite baits for fishing out here and covering water. But one thing I want to mention, I've got 2 rods on the deck that are really, really important for me when I'm fishing these Dakota lakes in particular, and they're both glass rods. Now these are St. Croix's Legend glass rods. They just came out with a new series that is going to blow your mind in the Mojo family with the same powers and actions at a better price. But what I like about glass for this rip and wrap, for example, it's got so much flex that once you stick a fish, it's really hard for them to shake what is a relatively heavy bait and small treble hooks. Now, the other one I've got, this is a bait casting setup. This one is a spinning setup. What I love about this is I can throw these tiny little balsa baits like a number 5 Shad Rap, another absolutely killer bait to have out here for walleye, smallmouth, white bass. I can throw this thing a mile and it's the same thing. The rod's got a ton of flex in it, and when I do hook those big fish and these light little trebles, it just holds onto them so well. You can throw these light baits in wind, and the wind is a big factor out here. So if you haven't fished glass rods, or it's been years since you fished with glass, I would certainly recommend having one of these babies on your deck, because it's a great tool for covering water and catching lots of fish.
I had one. Huh. The spots that should hold fish, hold fish.
Yeah.
You go down a lake and you run. Yeah, you know, see where they have to be. That was big to me, that size fish.
That was like a 3.5 pounder, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he might even been a little bit better than that. High 3.
There's one.
Got him.
Got him. Oh, I missed
Got him.
him.
I got
You got
mine.
one?
Yeah.
Nice. I just missed one. That was almost a double. Oh, shoot.
He just came off.
Nice size. There he
as
is.
big as
Got that one. Oh, that's awesome. But I almost had a double. I missed one, and like 2 seconds later, wonk. Another one. Jeez, another big bass, Al. You can see why that glass rod is so important for this. Look at the flex in that rod. We're talking about a tiny, tiny hook. As anybody who's a smallmouth fan knows, these things tend to go a little crazy at times. They like to jump, they like to dig, they like to just give you a run for your money. That's what makes smallmouth such a sweet fish. How do you like that? Browntown.
The one I just lost was like that.
The time of year, you know, it's 50 degrees always seems to be that magic number in the spring when things really get going. Now, we just started hitting 50 about an hour ago here, and when the water's, you know, in that mid 40s to 50 degrees, that can be a real time of transition. You've got a lot of fish that are still out in the wintering holes, and these first rolls, like in that, you know, more so that like 6 to 12 feet tend to hold a lot more fish. As it gets later in the season, the water starts to get, oh, Al's got one, 50 plus, they start to get a little shallower.
Good
Boom.
one, big one.
Look at you.
Big one. Big one of them big
Oh,
ones.
there's a big Kong.
First
Yes.
big brownie first big brownie jerking for the year. I'm liking it.
Do you want a net,
She's
sir?
tired. I got her. She's tired. She came out from living down in that 25-foot stuff all winter. You know, she's coming up here saying,
Doubles. Oh, I just missed one right there. They're loaded in here, man.
got yours.
No, I missed him again. Followed the bait that time.
Yeah. Come here. I want you in here. You know that, don't you? There, look at that.
Nice.
Boy, there's some good ones, Jer. That
These
was
are
what
just-
we heard. We heard the lake has got really good brown bass. You know, it really is an amazing story of the Dakotas and a lot of these western, what we call prairie lakes, how these big smallmouth have adapted out in this part of the world. You know, you're catching more and big fish. It's probably some of the best smallmouth fishing we experience, you know, every year. And you know, most people think of fish like this, they think of the Great Lakes, you know. But the prairie areas, these prairie states are really amazing on how good the smallie fishing is. You know, I got that one on an X-Wrap. Usually when we come up on these trips, our packing isn't that difficult. We're thinking mainly smallmouth and walleyes. The white bass and the northerns are all pluses. But here's the family of lures that you need that I guarantee you this time of the year, you're gonna catch fish on these lakes.
During this early season time frame, when the water is in and around that 50-degree range, think horizontal moving baits. The classic Rapala Shad Rap is always a killer. It's around 30 years old and still producing like it's a youngster. When it comes to rattle baits, the Rapala Rip and Rap and Storm Vibe are great multi-species lures. The Storm 360 GT is a no-brainer pre-rig system to fish. A VMC Finesse Half Moon Jig and a Big Bite Suicide Shad is also a great option. Both these presentations are so elegant because all you need to do is cast and wind and you can't fish them wrong. Last but not least, we cannot forget jerk baits. The Rapala X-Rap, Ripstop, and Shadow Rap can all be equally effective. You may want to experiment with the shallow versus the deep running baits. It all depends on the body of water, water clarity, and depth of the fish.
Got him.
Nice.
Sure.
You thinking brown bass?
I'm not sure.
Way up on top there?
Yeah. If it was a bit brownish, she'd be, yeah, she's brown. Good brown. She's gonna come up and visit you, Jer.
Oh yeah. There you go. Cool.
No.
Perfect. Go check it out.
Oh. Another guy, another brownie. Way up, she was way up on the flat there.
Way up there.
Way up there. There, bud. Way. Hooked sideways. No wonder she was fighting so strange. A lot of year classes. Lots of year classes, Jer.
Yeah.
Surprised that I haven't out on the main lake stuff. We're out here that we haven't got a walleye out here yet. You know, although, you know, they're probably right in the spawn from the, you know, or just coming off it. Oh, got him.
What do you got?
Something? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think it's a big walleye.
Walleye.
Walleye. Big spawned out female, you betcha. Big dog.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That time of day for him, too. Yeah, nice one. Nice eyeball.
Nice eyeball?
Nice eyeball.
Or way.
Yeah.
Boy, the plan is coming together.
Yeah. Nice eyeball. It feels good to be jigging up.
Ooh.
What a pretty nice eyes, ain't they? All right.
Awesome.
All right.
You know what? That's a very sweet walleye.
There. That felt good.
Don't let that one go.
Huh?
I said, don't let that one go when you're done.
Look at that. Hang on. Come on. He snapped at it. Oh, we had to have some walleyes back here, Jer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Let's
a
see.
great...
What's the belly looking like? Look, pretty darn nice fish. Yeah, it's really been for our first day up here poking around. Yeah. You know, we caught muskies, walleyes, a fair amount of smallmouth. You know, some really good ones. Number of pike.
Yeah.
What didn't we get? Whiteys yet.
Whiteys.
We have not got any whiteys yet.
Whoa.
Muskie?
It's white bass. This could
Whitey?
be a good sign.
Oh, man.
Just about to pull it out of the water, and look who showed up. One of my favorite friends. Oh, yes. Of all the fish we've caught today, this one makes me the most excited because where there's one of these, there's usually tons. And white bass are savages. They're the savages of these lakes out here. They just are bananas about eating stuff. They'll eat anything in the water. Jerk baits, rattle baits, jigs, you name it. And they are schooly little buggers too. So the goal for the day was to catch some walleyes, some smallmouth, some white bass, and we even got a bonus muskie. So how do you like that? I'd say we've had a pretty darn good day of fishing, looking at new water. That's the thing about exploring. To me, it's one of the most rewarding things you can do in fishing. Yeah, of course it's great to get out, fish spots that you know, but when you get to go explore new stuff, it's such a rewarding experience when you're learning new country and catching fish at the same time. It's pretty cool.